Gather round, you seekers of the unknown, for a story that creeps beneath the skin and lingers in the shadows. This is The Whispering Graves, a tale of a place where the dead refuse to rest, and the living pay the price. Dim the lights, hold your breath, and listen, because some secrets demand to be heard. Harrow's End was a town forgotten by time, its cemetery perched on a hill like a crown of crooked teeth. The graves were ancient, their inscriptions faded to ghostly scratches, and the townsfolk swore the ground itself hummed with unease. They called it the Whispering Hill, claiming voices drifted from the soil after dark, soft, mournful pleas no one dared answer. Emily Carter, though, couldn't resist. She was 16, wiry and fearless, with a habit of chasing ghost stories. Her friends dared her to camp among the graves, armed with a flashlight and a cheap recorder from her dad's attic. "Catch the whispers," they'd said, smirking. Emily grinned back, but her pulse quickened as she climbed the hill under a moonless sky. The air bit at her skin as she settled near an unmarked headstone, its edges jagged like broken bone. Silence pressed in, thick and expectant. Then, a sound, faint, like a sigh carried on the wind. She clicked on the recorder, her breath fogging in the chill. "Emily." The voice was brittle, close enough to brush her ear. She froze, flashlight trembling in her grip, but the beam found only empty rows of stone. "Emily." Below, the whispers multiplied, weaving into a chorus of anguish. They seemed to rise from the grave beside her, a sunken patch of earth crowned by that blank, accusing slab. Her hand shook as she scraped at the dirt with a stick, then her nails, driven by a pull she couldn't name. The soil parted too easily, revealing a tin box, rusted and cold. Inside lay a child's ring, silver, etched with tiny flowers, and a scrap of cloth stained with something dark. The whispers stopped. The silence was worse. Then the ground shivered, a low-groan rumbling beneath her boots. Fingers breached the earth, gray, claw-like, curling toward the sky. Emily choked on a scream as shapes hauled themselves free, eyeless husks in rotted cloth, their heads tilting toward her. One figure stood apart, small and still, a girl with hollow sockets where eyes should have been. She raised a bony hand, the ring glinting on her finger. "You woke us," she hissed, her voice a splinter in Emily's mind. Emily bolted, thorns tearing at her legs, the flashlight lost to the dark. She didn't stop until she collapsed on her porch, clawing at the door. The next day, she led her father back to the hill, but the grave was untouched. No box, no ring, just smooth, unbroken dirt. Her recorder, recovered near the headstone, held only static, and a single, whispered word, "Stay." Emily stopped talking about that night. She stopped talking much at all. But sometimes, late at night, she'd stare out her window at the hill, her fingers tracing invisible flowers on her skin. The townsfolk noticed the cemetery seemed quieter now, no more whispers on the wind. They didn't notice the new grave, small and unmarked, that appeared one foggy morning. Or the way the earth above it never quite settled. Ends, or begins again, the Whispering Graves. What did Emily unleash that night? What watches from the hill, waiting for the next curious soul? Lock your windows tonight, friends, and ignore any whispers you hear. Until our next descent into darkness, stay safe, if you can. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tell us, would you dig?